Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, and that is microorganism, we were talking about that of the harmful microorganism. Harmful microorganism, student, yes, we already had seen in case of the useful microorganism that how they are used in various fields and they are very important in making a lot of different products, different types of products, including that of the making of bread or in making alcohol or beverages. Even it is also used in making that of the medicines or antibiotics. Okay, and for vaccination also. So such kind of a thing is there by which we can categorize the microorganism is useful microorganism. So they are what? They are the useful kind of a microorganism. Then we have started to understand what is a harmful microorganism. So there are microorganisms which causes disease to a person. And if a thing is causing disease to a person, or if a thing which causes the difficulty or to a person, so what is that? That is a harmful one. Okay, that is not good for the person. So that is why we have categorized such kind of a microorganism into the harmful microorganism. So we have seen students that a lot of a kind of a disease is caused due to bacteria, due to viruses, due to protozoa, as well as that of the fungi is there. So these are what? These are the kind of a microorganism which causes disease. Now the disease can be transferred from one person to another, and the agent or the medium can be anything. So you see, if you drink a contaminated food, contaminated water, or if you eat a contaminated food, it means which is the open. Okay, so what happened? The chances is there that the microorganism which was present on that of the on that of the food will enter in your body and cause disease to you. So we can say that here the agent or the cause, a causative agent, is what? Or the various means by which the disease enter into a living organism from any of the substance is food or water. So through food or through water, this microorganism enter in the body. Now, second case, if suppose a person sneezes or if cough, then what happened? You will find that doctors used to always says that you should always cover your mouth or your nose while sneezing or coughing. Why is it so? Because if you sneeze or if you cough without without covering your mouth, then it will this microorganism will spread in the air and it will get transferred from one person to another. So this is sneezing and cough will get transferred to the other person also. So you can see, student, here the medium is air, the means is air only. So it is the air which we can say which causes the disease, okay, which help in transferring the disease. Okay, now this one is air, food and water we already had discussed. Okay, so you have seen the doctors, they used to say that we should use a mosquito net. Okay, why is it so, student? Because if the mosquito bite, what will happen? It will also cause a disease that is known as malaria. Okay, dengue. So what happened basically? So you see, what happened? The mosquito, first of all, it will bite to an infected person. That person who is suffering from malaria or dengue. Now he sucked the blood, the mosquito sucked the blood of the infected person. Now it used to get transferred, this blood get transferred by the mosquito when the mosquito will bite a healthy person. So when the mosquito bite to a healthy person, the blood get transferred from the infected to that of the healthy person. So here the transference of the blood from an infected to a healthy person occur, and thus we can also say that it is what? It is also a kind of a means by which the disease get transferred from one person to another person. Okay. Now, flies also, right now we said the flies used to sit in the waste material or in garbage, even the human, on the human excreta also, human or living beings or excreta. So they used to sit there, and finally they comes to the food which is open and kept on a stall and a stall. So they used to sit in such kind of a food, and what happened, the microorganism which already has been stick on the body of the flies will get transferred from the excreta, from the garbage, to the food, to the water. And when you eat such kind of a food or water, what will happen, this will cause a disease to a person. So okay, food and water will be food is a means by which the disease comes to a healthy person. But we can say that insects are also responsible for transferring the infection, transferring the microorganism from one person to another. So this is what, this is the various means, student, by which the human being got disease. Okay, so now we can say that is the microorganism which cause disease is a harmful microorganism. Now various kind of disease are there, student. Typhoid is there, cholera is there, malaria is there, HIV which causes AIDS to a person, chicken pox is there, smallpox is there, measles are there. So these are what, these are the dengue is there. Okay, so these are what, these are the different kind of a disease which occur to a human being, which occur to a living organisms, animals also, and harm the person. Okay. Now, is only the human being or the animals they get disease through the microorganism? No, we have also seen that the microorganism also attack to that of the plants, and they causes disease to the plants also. So there are yellow mosaic virus or a tobacco mosaic virus, anthrax is there, students. So this is what is a kind of a virus or a bacteria which is responsible for transferring the disease or causing the disease to the plants also. So you can see that the main motto of a harmful microorganism is to destroy, or it's to cause a harm to the living organism. Okay, so we have understood up to this much. Now let us see that another topic, and that is known as a food poisoning. Food poisoning. Food poisoning. Now, you have seen, student, that if okay, if suppose food is not covered, so you will say that it is not good, because a person should not eat uncovered food, because the microorganism will be present and the person may get harmed. Okay. So now you have prepared a food and you had kept it for 1 day, and again you have kept it for 2 days and then 3 days outside. Then what will happen? You will find that are you going to eat such kind of a food, student? No, you will not. Why is it so? Because when you see the food, you will find that the smell is a bad smell is coming out of the food. Even the color of the food get changed, and not only this, if suppose you will taste it, you will find that even the taste also get changed. So what does that indicate? So how the change in the color occur, how the change in the taste and that of the smell occur? So it basically occur due to the attack of the microorganism. So it is the microorganism which causes this disease. Spoil the food. Spoiling of the food occur due to the attack of the microorganism. Okay, so we can write here the first one, that if the food is not covered properly, kept properly, or preserved properly. If the food is not covered properly, preserved properly, covered properly or preserved properly, what happened? It will get spoiled. It will get spoiled due to the attack of microorganisms. Okay, so it will be attacked by that of the microorganism on it. Okay, what kind of a microorganism, students? It can be bacteria or it can be fungus also. So bacteria or fungi. Now, these microorganisms that grow on the food, it releases the toxic substances. So we can write it that the microorganism which it grows on the food produces toxic substances. What is the meaning of the toxic here? It means it used to grow on the food and make the food poisonous. How? By releasing a poisonous kind of a substance in the food. Okay. So, when we say that the food gets spoiled, what does that mean? Actually, the taste or the smell of the food get spoiled, or the foul smell or a bad taste is coming out from the food. So this happened because of this action. So we can also write it that the food gets spoiled by this method. In this manner, starts giving foul smell and bad taste. Starts giving foul smell and bad taste. Okay, start giving foul smell and bad taste. And not only this, even its color also changes. Its color also changes. Okay, so not only this, student, but even the color also changes. Okay, and what will happen if such kind of a food is eaten by a person or is taken or is consumed by a person? It will cause food poisoning. Okay, so we can write it, and that is it will cause food poisoning. Okay, so it will cause a food poisoning. So we can say that the disease which is caused due to the attack of the microorganism on it, or due to the growth of the microorganism which produces toxic substances or poisonous substances on the food, such kind of a disease is called as the food poisoning. So we can also write it, that is the disease caused due to the presence of the disease caused due to the presence of large number of microorganisms. Okay, so the disease caused due to the presence of large number of microorganisms, large number of microorganism, large number of microorganism in the food, large number of microorganism in the food, or we can say, or due to the presence of toxic substances. Okay, due to the presence of toxic substance in the food, formed due to the growth of microorganisms, due to the growth of microorganisms, or by the action of the microorganism on the food, is called as the organism called as food poisoning. Okay, so you can see, students, by this we can define the food poisoning. What is the food poisoning? It is the disease which is caused due to the presence of the microorganism, as well as the toxic substances which is formed in the food. Why? By the action of the microorganism. So a microorganism used to produce that of the toxic substances in the food, which is not covered, which has been kept for a long days. So which is not a fresh food, you can say. So it will cause the food poisoning to a person. Okay, so food poisoning occurs due to the action of the microorganism. Okay, so what are the major symptoms? So we can say in a simple language that the food poisoning is caused by the action of microorganism. So there must be symptoms by which a person can say, okay, the person might have food poisoning. So the major symptoms are, students, symptoms. Obviously, the person is not able to digest such kind of a food. So what will happen? Vomiting started. Okay, so the first one is vomiting. Now, not able to digest, the students, so loose motion or a diarrhea is also caused due to food poisoning. Okay, so loose motion. loose motion occur. Now, if a person is not able to digest, or if we use such kind of a food which is a toxic one and consisting of the poisonous substance, so it will cause a lot of a pain in the abdomen. Okay, so we can also write the pain in abdomen. Pain in abdomen. Then headache is there. Then fever. Okay, so vomiting is there, loose motion, pain in abdomen, headache is there, fever is there. These all are what? These all are the major symptoms of the food poisoning. Major symptoms of food poisoning. Okay, and if the food poisoning is much, students, then it can cause a major illness and even death of the person. Although it is very rare, but yes, it can happen. Okay, so it can cause some of the serious issues also, that is major illness as well as the death of the person. Okay. Now, what are the means by which the food get poisoned or the microorganism reaches to that of the food? So we can write it that the microorganism which causes the microorganisms which causes the food poisoning comes to the food how? By through dirty water also, through air also. Okay, and flies, cockroaches are also there, students, and even if the container in which the food is kept is not cleaned properly. So these are some of the reasons, students. So let me write it. Food from the air. This is the first one, which is open. If it is open, then absolutely air is there. Then even dirty hands, students. So dirty hands, uncleaned containers. Uncleaned containers are there. So yes, it will also cause a disease to a person. So uncleaned containers. Then flies, cockroaches, flies is there, cockroaches is there, students. Then insects are also responsible. Rats are also responsible. Even sick farm animals. Sick farm animals. So if a person who is eating the non-veg, so if they are eating the animals which are already having fever, so that will also cause a poisoning to that of a person who is consuming such kind of a food. Okay, so we can say by this that the food poisoning means are there, various means are there by which it reaches to the food and produces the toxic substance and causes the disease, that is food poisoning. Sorry. And that can be air is also responsible. If dirty hand, if a person is handling the food with a dirty hand, or if in the container in which the food is kept is unclean, is not cleaned properly. Flies are also responsible because flies used to take the microorganism from a part to the food. Then insects, even the cockroaches and even that of the rats are also responsible for the same. Now, what are the different kind of a microorganism which can cause the food poisoning? Okay. So we can write it, the most common example of bacteria which causes food poisoning are Salmonella and Clostridium. Okay. So we can write it, the most common example of bacteria which is responsible for causing the, that of the common example of bacteria which causes food poisoning, causes food poisoning are Salmonella, and Clostridium. Salmonella and Clostridium. Okay, so this is what, these are the two type of a very common type of a bacteria which causes food poisoning. So Salmonella is there, student. You have heard about the Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi is a kind of a bacteria which causes a typhoid. So we can say is a kind of a bacteria, both of them, which causes a the food poisoning to a food poisoning disease. Now, is fungus is also responsible, student? Yes. The common type of a fungus which is responsible for causing the food poisoning is Aspergillus. So we can write it. Example of fungus which causes food poisoning. An example of fungus causing food poisoning, is Aspergillus. Okay, so Aspergillus is responsible. Okay, so the bacteria which causes the food poisoning is Salmonella and Clostridium, and the fungi which is responsible for it is that of the Aspergillus. Okay, so you see, students, we have seen that how the food poisoning occur. So what is the you can say what is the thing that we have understood from here, that what are the different causes, how the food poisoning occur, and how can we prevent it, students, which is very important. Food is very precious, so it is very important for us to preserve it. We should not spoil it. Okay, so we should cover it properly, we should keep it properly, we should preserve it properly so that it can be used. Okay, so we can also write it that food is a very. Now one more thing is there, student, which I left to tell you, that food poisoning is a chemical change. Okay, so food poisoning is a chemical change. Obviously, the bacteria or the fungus, they are releasing the toxic substances. So it is what? It is a chemical change. Now, we have seen in the lower classes that chemical change is what? Which cannot be reversed. So you see that is the food which get toxic, which get attacked by that of the microorganism, which gets spoiled. Is it possible to convert it into fresh food again? No. So such kind of a change is what? It is a chemical change. So we can also write it, that is food poisoning is a chemical change. Food poisoning is a chemical change. Is chemical change. Okay. So this was all about that of the food poisoning, students. Okay.